Welcome to another episode of Tzuzamen.
Hi,
Hi,
Philip.
Tip.
Hi, everybody.
And hi, everybody. And hi,
Especially,
Michal and Maya, the producer and the director of a fabulous film that calls Full Support. And full support meaning bras for breasts.
בעלי לא ראה ציצי גדול במציאות.
מלפני שהוא הכיר אותך.
זה כאילו, תחשבי מה הוא מרגיש. תחשבי מה הוא עובר.
דיברתם על מה הוא מרגיש?
הוא תמיד הוא כאילו, יודעת, אני של טוסיק, אני בכלל לא אוהב ציצי, לא אכפת לי, והייתי אוהב, לא הייתי מתחתן איתך.
זה נכון.
נכון.
right.
So we watched the film, Tzipi and I, and I have to tell you, I think this is the ultimate female film I've ever seen, honestly. I myself never wear a bra, so this was interesting altogether.
Well, you don't have enough.
I did it for a few years, but it's not a good idea.
She used to tell me that God, when he created her boobs, he started to pull it out and stopped in the, immediately stopped and just left it there.
Left to do other things, never came back.
Right.
But I think in the army, I had a bra for a while, and then only when I got in my 30s, it was cold, so I needed to have a bra a little bit. And now sometimes, but not really. But anyway,
you see, this is really confession.
the film is really, it describes a bra store in Jaffa, and it has the little section, where women go in to try their bra, and immediately it feels
Dressing room.
like a confession, when you go to church,
right.
and the priest is behind the door, and these are the women who sell in the store, and it covers from the first bra to the last bra. Michal, how did you get to this?
And how did you make women willing?
Wait, just give the background a little bit.
I think what drew me to this subject is that when you come to buy a bra, something happens that doesn't happen in any other situation, and that is that you come to a store like a stranger, you're a stranger. It's not an intimate situation, and immediately becomes an intimate situation because you have to take off your shirt, you have to confront yourself in the mirror.
You reveal everything, yeah.
You have to communicate with the saleswomen because we don't really manage it by ourselves, like you buy a t-shirt and then you know what you need. No, we have to communicate. So it really is a bit like a confession. I mean, it's a small...
But I just want to tell you something, because just to explain a little bit, because in Israel, it's very common. You come to the store, to a special
store. It's only bra store.
And you have special ladies that really know, and they go in with you, and they check with you, and they touch you. It's something very personal, very professional.
Here, they lift it up the moment you come in.
In the States, it's not the same. I think maybe you have one or two stores like this that women really understand, the sales
department
women,
stores, they don't know nothing.
They look at the computer, you know the size of your bra, you go to Victoria's Secret, you go to the big stores. I have no clue how to buy a bra, and you go on your own. So you don't really have, most women, I think, don't experience this personal connection, immediate connection that is described in your film.
So do you think that when a woman enters such a store, the lady who stands there, do you think she immediately can read this woman fears, anxieties, self-assurance, the image she holds about herself, the way she walks? Do they read the woman when she enters the store?
Like scanning.
I think in this specific store, and it's one of the reasons that I chose to do the film, because I wasn't looking to make a film about a bra shop. No, I wanted to make a film about our breasts, all of us, and our relationship with them. And the store is only my channel to get there. But I think in this specific store, they really do read into, I mean, it's kind of טיפולי.
Yeah, treatment.
Therapeutic.
Therapy.
Very.
Yeah, they really look at the woman that comes in. What does she need? And not only this is a body, we need to grip it and send it, package it and send it out. No, we need to examine what she needs. And so this store was very right for me, for my film, because I was looking for a place that can make space for that kind of self-expression.
And it's amazing the level of openness of
Right.
the women that participated in the film. They didn't hide anything.
But it shows how much it's important for a woman and how much her self-image depends on the size of her breasts, right? The self-image.
Yes, well, I wasn't even aware how much it affects our self
perception of ourselves and how we
perception.
think people perceive us.
I think that once they walk in and they see themselves in the mirror like this, you know, it's so close,
Right.
everything opens up, and you have to confront something that you can hide maybe when you're outside. And it's beautiful to see the salesperson standing behind the curtain and just listen to what they say inside.
Yes.
It's so beautiful. And I don't think that we think about so many point of views and so many angles. It brings so much, and it reveals so much about each one in the most private areas. And the hopes and the wishes and the
Right.
disappointments, and
Right.
it's really like a חשבון נפש,
Right.
you know.
But
with
I'm old enough
yourself.
to know, I witnessed the fact that Twiggy, I don't think you know who is Twiggy, but she had
Everybody
know.
Tomato.
completely flat chest, right? And that became like a huge
fashion.
fashion. And then the Kim Kardashian and, like her, and how it changed. Although also when Twiggy was around, you also had, full breast women like Sophia Loren, Raquel Welch, the ones that I remember. But at the end of the day, I always wonder how much women want the size of their breast according to what they think about what men like, right? What the men like. I mean, are they shape their needs for a big or small breasts according to what they think their men or a man think about them and their breast?
From my point of view, after talking to many women about their breasts in the past year, I think that not so much. I think that there is a full relationship between a woman and her own breasts. And maybe there is some voice that says, oh, my partner, or maybe men will like this or that, but I didn't get the impression that that's the major.
I'm happy to hear it.
I think that from
because you have to carry them all the time, and I think and also
like
people tag you by it. So, and not most of us don't choose the size of our breast. Most of us
lately we
get
do.
along with what we got, and some choose and make a change.
They
But
make a
those of
lot,
us who-
make a change,
Yes,
especially reduction, to make them smaller.
right.
The reduction, I remember since I was young that
Really?
some girls did it because it affected their back and their spine and their emotional state. But I don't remember, I think that most of them or all of them were talking about the relationship between them and themselves. And it was like the excitement of the first bra, the relationship with the mothers, the relationship with when you have a cancer and you have to operate your breast, or the freedom of celebrating a certain stage. I don't remember, the men weren't there even.
How free to
When
believe.
you go to Victoria's
Yeah.
Secret, the men are everywhere because it's
Yeah.
designed for men. But this is a store for women, and it's really protects women and allows them to deal with themselves without thinking about anybody else. And it's so beautifully done. How many women did you
Oh, a
employ? How
lot.
many women agreed to do that?
A lot.
No, but I'm sure they filmed more.
Maya,
Michal,
there are
many
about
more.
20
I
women
don't
in the...
I don't have the exact answer, but I'm guessing that around 30, 40 would be
Wow.
my guess, Michal.
How did you
Maybe
persuade?
There are about 20 women in the
in
film.
the film, so
Of
probably
course,
double.
yeah.
How difficult it was to persuade them?
There was no persuasion at all. It's not the
Yeah.
kind of film that I would want to pressure someone to take part in.
Yeah.
I think, right, Maya?
Yeah.
We didn't do any...
How
We
did
did
you
it
choose
in a
them?
very, very small crew, and also all women. First of all, the store is tiny, so you could hardly fit in more people there, and it was really important for us to keep this intimacy and to kind of be like a fly on a wall in a way. And I think that also Michal's decision that was super smart to use Noah and Etty as her narrators, as the film, the saleswomen, because really they have this. I think one of the reasons you asked before of how much the women opened up was, of course, also Michal, but it was also Noah and Etty and their, years of experience and professionalism and knowing exactly like where to back off, what to ask, to give each one her space. Like it's really something that makes this store special and that makes them kind of psychologists in a way. Like that's how we feel.
Very
The
therapeutic.
store is in Jaffa,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Jaffa?
And I think one of the things you also mentioned, another point that was strong, we were really, really surprised by the diversity of like stories, of types of relationships, of how much each woman, story size, complex relationship was completely different, but also that many of them, it was a positive one. Like when we went, I think, Michal, to start to work on it, we thought we'd have like much more like complicated and complex stories about our relationship. And of course, it's also there. But we were happy also to find out that there are many women who love their breasts and love like either that they're small or large, and that they're so happy to come with their daughter to buy with them, and of course some of them the opposite, but we were like really surprised also by that and happy to see that. And I think it's one of the reasons that also makes the film like heartwarming and that it really talks to
so you everybody that I mean, did you chose the women who went to the store? You chose them, right? It was not women from the street.
Some and some. Michal, do you wanna? Yeah.
Michal?
Yeah, some we met before, either from that they are clients of the store, but we made an appointment with them so that we can make the time to talk during the shooting. And some came in spontaneously, and there was always one of us in the store that explains to customers what we are doing here. Yes, we made a decision to shoot most of the film while the store is open, so that we have the documentary vibe, the interruptions, but to make it not sterile. So
were you surprised by some of the reveals by women? That did you expect all this variety of revelation to come out?
Everything you said except for the word some. I was surprised by all of them.
Wow.
Because even when I thought I knew what the scene was going to be about, I didn't know. there's always something more when you listen to someone and you get the first one-liner, yeah, I'm like this, I'm like that we are used to say about ourselves. But then when you go on listening and you make space to talk, something more comes out. And I was really, really surprised by each and every scene, really. Like, for example, there is a woman who is always going with machsof. She shows a lot of cleavage. And I thought, oh, great. So there will be one woman in the film that really carries them proudly, doesn't care if you look, you don't look, it's all out there. She's having fun. And I discovered that it was the opposite, that she didn't find any aesthetic way to package it. So she feels like she's bound to go with an open cleavage, because otherwise it will be ugly or something like that. Total like opposite of what I from the side imagined to myself, or the story I told myself about a woman like that. So every woman that talked to us, I think, was some kind of a surprise.
You know, in times of plastic surgery, fake boobs, you know, everything is so commercial. All of a sudden, it's an island of natural, deep feelings of women, the real voice of something that is hidden, you know, beneath all the PR of the way it should look, or the way it should be, or the way you should feel. And it was so refreshing to be together with this group, and it's so touching, and it's so sweet. There's so much beautiful, there's so many beautiful emotions. It's so human. It's such it was unbelievable experience, really.
Yeah, but objectively, let's face it, the older you get, the less beautiful it is.
But I tell you something that's very important
for the characters.
I don't think so.
One of the characters that I really love the most, Gina, right, Michal? She's this like older, rebellious, amazing lady.
She was like brave.
She super brave. I meet her also in protests like almost every week. She's such a special person, and like she really, like she was the ones who were the most one of the ones who were the most brave. Like really, you know, we let everyone choose how they're shot and how much do they expose or not. So she was the one who was like most. Yeah, exactly. And I found her like to be one of the most beautiful and amazing women there, and it shows like so. And she's so happy and confident, like about herself and her body. Like I wish
yeah, I know, but still, the objective aestheticism of the tits. I know it's like, you know, being high and being shaped, and the nipple is in the middle. You know, this didn't change ever. It's like a convention, how a woman boob should look.
But I think that the way they presented it,
right? No,
it makes it so beautiful by itself that it doesn't mean.
Right. The question is, I don't know. This is something bigger, because always we think that the film can change attitudes, and I wonder if what we think, what is the, you know, the perfect shape of tits, you know, change after we saw the movie.
I have to say, I think the difference about this film is the perspective.
Right.
It's not how you look at me; it's how I look at me. The film is
the point of view of the woman on themselves, and not
and I think if someone shapes her own breasts and go to surgery and whatnot, when she wakes up in the morning and she looks at herself, what's her reaction? It doesn't have to do with how objectively her breasts look. Is it by the code right now, the fashion, or what men think? I don't know. This film asks, how do I feel? How do I feel? How do I see myself? So there is no right answer because each and every one of us
But you know,
herself,
the kids are the
very
first
bright.
one. Always come before you, right? It's the first. It's always
Yeah.
before you. It's longer than the
they're
nose.
always one step ahead.
Yeah, it's longer than the
Or
nose.
two
It's longer than the
steps, or,
penis.
yeah.
It's come first. The question how you define a woman according to her breast in terms of motherhood, sex. I think that the tits really influence our perception, from a point of view of the viewer, right? And I'm sure women are aware of it.
Of course, women are aware of
Of
it.
course.
Yeah, they're aware of it. And I'm actually annoyed by to what degree, without even telling you, when you have huge boobs, you are aware how people look at you.
Of
And they
course.
know what they think and what they tell themselves, how she carries it. It's not heavy. Why she doesn't reduce it, do reduction. I mean, people judge you all the time. So the longer or the bigger your boobs, the more you feel you're judged all the time, I guess.
Yeah, even if you're judged in a, like, so to speak, positive way, like, oh,
Right.
she's sexy. Maybe you're 17 and you don't even know what sexy is.
Right.
But you're already tagged
I
as...
think that in a way women know because they're very aware to the reaction around them, and they learn, and we grow up in a world that sells it all the time, and it's basic. But in your film, it's so private and it's so not about it. And I think once they walk into this little cell, everything changes because they face themselves and they're very honest, and it has nothing to do with anybody else. And it just happened that we are there to take a look. That's
Yeah.
it. So it's really a different story altogether.
So
I agree.
to what degree they know that there is a camera there? How much they were
Yeah,
I think
conscious?
of
so.
course.
But
You
I always
know.
think about, I also tell my students, when you put the camera in front of you, you're completely exposed. When you're on the side, I not necessarily feel you, but I feel you on some degree, and I'm conscious. When the camera in the back, right? It's like I can read your thoughts.
like this.
Knowing, yeah, right.
Okay, I see
Right.
you. I see your front.
Right.
I see your face.
So the
I see your
question is
reaction.
how much they are conscious that we see them, or they forget it after 5 minutes. You think they forgot about the camera?
They look comfortable.
So the first answer is they're 100% aware. This is a very small shop.
Yeah, I know. In dressing
here,
room,
and we are here.
Right.
And they turn to us, and they turn to the
mirror
and back to us. And so the camera woman is here, and I'm here, like on her shoulder, trying not to ruin the shot, giving her elbows all the time. And she's like, Michal, stop. And kazeh. So it's very intimate. There is not 1 minute when she forgets that she's being filmed. On the other hand, of course, it's a long conversation.
Yes, and we knew it's really
deeper and deeper, but I mean, we did it in a way that they talk to the saleswomen, but they also talk to me. So I'm there all the time, and I'm leading like the conversation because I know what I want to get.
It was also very compelling because it's some of the personal stories. It was really compelling, and you felt so engaged in their story.
It's very brave.
And it's really interesting that in a short time, you really created an intimate relationship with them, and you actually wanted to hug them. You felt like they are your friend. You felt like they give you confidence. I think that every woman who sees your film is going to reflect on her own emotions,
Absolutely.
the way she perceives herself, or maybe how she should not judge herself according to what other people judge her. I think it can really change whoever see the film for the best,
And
change
also men,
our
by the way.
perception. What?
Also men. Like one of the things that we were really surprised with were like
The
how
reaction of men.
would men react to this film.
Ah.
Like we knew this is a very feminine film. We thought that most of our viewers will probably be women, but the responses that we're getting from men are truly amazing.
Like what? They were not manly. They were manly responses. Like
Yes.
did
Yes.
Very
oh, I
manly.
was so attracted to
Men
her.
coming out weeping like after the film and writing Michal
Well,
how it
then they
changed
took
all
their
their perception.
They put their manhood aside. If they were weeping, they put their manhood aside. I wonder how many of them will dare to say, "Oh, I'm attracted to her."
But
I'm
what's wrong
attracted.
with being attracted? That's just fine. That's fine. You know, one man friend told me as soon as the film ended, he said, "I didn't know that breasts are so political."
Wow.
Another man told me,
What do you think he
a
means by
friend of
that?
mine said, "You know, this woman in the film, she says, for men it's a toy." And she's absolutely right. Until I saw this film, it was only a toy for me. And it blew my mind. I didn't know all that. So I got many reactions like
But
this.
what does he mean by political? That it's a political.
That it, well, we have to ask him, but that it symbolizes or it leads to many issues that are between men and women that are being safe or not safe in walking around in the world. Many issues that come up in the film, I think.
How did
that,
it?
if someone makes איך קוראים לזה, הערה, makes a comment. Well, you talk to someone in a business meeting and they make a comment about your breasts. You immediately, it shrinks you and shakes you because, so it's political. Of course it is.
Right, tell me something.
Then bras are also political. Is
So
it
how
for
do you
us?
explain?
Is it against us? I don't know.
How do you explain that lately more and more women, young women, actually goes with a bra on the street?
As a top.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a top only.
Just bra. Like
Maya,
kind of
you're
bra
younger,
or
this is
oh, you
more
too?
fashion.
You too go with the bra on the street?
No. But I don't know. Like
I used to go with
happy.
underwear on
Yeah.
the street like clothes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just it's fashion. It's just whatever.
But they
It's
go with a bra, and a lot of them it's outside, and I go with my grandchildren and I say,
it's less of an issue.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's less of an issue, I would say.
Girls, how did the women reacted when they saw themselves in the
Good
the
question.
Mm-hmm.
They saw it?
Of course.
Yes, of course. It was very very exciting for us, for them. They were very happy with it.
It's a very important film.
Say because we love them so much, and we were hoping that they would see that in the film. We made this film out of love.
It's all heart. All heart.
And we were stressed about it. I think most of them watched only on the premiere. So we were really waiting to see how they would respond, but they had amazing responses, and they also immediately connected between them and felt like they know each other.
It's a beautiful, beautiful film. I actually admire you. The idea, I don't know even if you're aware to what degree it's an important film.
Very.
It's really, and you can also.
It's a very important statement.
Yeah, but it's you open it up in your, in a way to more than just a reaction to women boobs. It covers so many subjects, like, judging and, being critical and putting down people and how we perceive ourselves according to how others perceive us. What is freedom? What is to accept selfish, image? How do you build in a girl, whatever her boobs are, strong self-image? not really.
And then it takes you to the relationship with your mom,
And
with
your
grandma,
and your
with
yeah
your
your
motherhood is a very strong issue that came up from this film.
I'm really happy. I hope it will become a conversation.
Yeah.
Maya,
I wanted to ask you, it's the third film that you produce that I see, and you have like a thread between all the films that you choose. Take us through this line, because it's very, very specific. Very.
Very feminine, I guess.
Very feminine. Not mentioning
some of them,
milk,
again, not all
that
of
it's
them.
about the
feeding,
breastfeeding. Yeah, breastfeeding.
Yeah.
But
I think that we try to work with like writer directors that we love and trust, and I wanted to say also about like your compliments that it's like 100% to Michal. It was a huge bet to make this film. Like I was there with you from the pitchings, and in the beginning to pitch a film about tits was not that easy. And also usually you have in films, also in documentaries, like beginning, middle, end. Here we really left for, for the unknown.
That's a journey, right?
So we really worked with your, intuitions and with your center, and it paid off, I think. I agree. You say, so I agree with you. And I think these kind of stories just, I just connect to them, and I feel that important, and that's what leads us in what we choose.
But it is a commitment. It's not to make a documentary.
Not only that, all Maya's films they have a very unique point of view and a very unusual point of view about the feminine story. And it's not an ordinary film that you would just walk in to see, film about women. There's always something very, 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 very different.
I think if I can comment also about it, I think it's also something that has to do with feminine management, and Maya is a very feminine, has kind of a feminine leadership in you, Maya. And I told you this already, because exactly what you said about trusting someone's intuition and making films out of trust. Who talks like that? Really?
I mean, you have to have trust, if you have, especially.
Who talks? I mean, it's very brave. There is money on the line, and it's you can
Who supported
it's
you?
Risky. It's risky, but I think it's a very feminine way of filmmaking, and I think it's also part of.
Do you think any television will show it?
Yeah, of course. We have, first of all, the first ones to come on board were the new film and television fund. They immediately, like from the paper, like Dorit just said in the beginning that it made her laugh, and she wanted to explore how a film about breasts would look like, and she took the risk. So she was the first one. And then Kan 11, the Israeli public broadcaster, also stepped in. And they're going to air it in 3 weeks.
Wow, great.
And, and the film actually, even before that, and by the way, these are also two examples, like the decision makers were like very in these two funds, it was the decision makers were very strong and impressive women. In the third fund, in Karen Makor, it was all men.
Sure.
And we were really surprised by it.
Sure.
And they reacted really to the film. They came in when there was a cut, and they were the first men who were crying from the film.
Wow.
So we knew that we might have something.
They thought about their mothers.
I really feel that this film is going to do very impressive rounds everywhere, because
and going to affect anybody.
So
it will work its way, because it's very special and beautiful.
And I told Tzili this morning, and she didn't agree with me. I think that somehow I feel that women's place is shrinking.
I'm not sure.
In politics,
Listen, in times of war, it happens almost automatically, and these are the times that we live in. But I have to tell you about it. First of all, thank you, and I hope everything you say will happen. In Israel, it's already a kind of a surprise hit. Like, it feels theaters that I have to say that I'm shocked about it. It really, we did not know it would happen.
How long is
it came out like 2 months ago, two,
No,
3
no, how
months
long?
ago.
May, in May.
No.
Oh,
How
yes.
long?
How long is the
An hour,
film?
an hour and a half? What?
I think it's
70 minutes.
70
70
minutes.
A little bit more.
So again, it's like
It's a good length.
it's a small documentary film, and you know there are not so many moviegoers now.
It's not a
Yeah.
small
Since
film at
COVID,
all.
I agree,
Huge.
and
Not a
what
small
we
film at all.
and this is what we found out.
But now with
that
the war, I think not many people are going to the theater.
So, and this is the thing, that actually people go to watch this.
Yeah.
Because it gives them some
But they don't
hope
feel,
and optimism.
because it's okay to look. You know,
It touches
Right.
you. It doesn't cover anything. It touches you.
It's
goes to
human,
heart.
so
It's
human.
beautiful.
It's
Girl.
heartwarming, and it's you know, it gives people
And it's
optimism and
funny.
hope, and it's
It's
funny.
very funny.
We
Very
all need some channel to
Very
Well,
funny and
prayer.
very heartwarming and very deep. And
Right.
it keeps you thinking, and it gives you a lot of material to think
Wonderful.
about and to
Yeah.
work
I'm
with.
so
It's
happy you
really
did
great.
it. I'm so happy you came to us. It was
Girls,
such a pleasure to talk to us.
good
To
luck.
you. Good
And
luck. And
thank you for this film.
thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
coming.
Thank you, Tzili, for
And
introducing.
Thank you
and
Thank you so much.
for
see you
watching.
next
And
week, everybody.
Next week, everybody.
Bye.